is going to get our attention now, because they're at it again with their latest smartphone option, the Galaxy S6. And yes, some people are going to be banging on the door asking if they bring any free S6 for them to give away. No. Samsung has partnered with photographer Mark Lindsay on a project entitled 2015-365, which promotes the outstanding camera features of the Galaxy S6. The photos are being promoted on Lindsay's official website, 2015-365.lindsaydigital.com, using the hashtag S6SummerShot. Not summer, but anyway, S6 summer shot. Well, he's here along with Gracia White, the Assistant Trade Marketing Manager of Samsung Electronics Latin America. Very good morning to you both. Good to have you here on the program. And by the way, Mark Lindsay, former colleague at The Guardian, still has his bit depth column in The Guardian, going 20 years now. 20 Congratulations, years. And still going strong. But before we hear about, from your perspective, the value of this project and the ability of the S6 to now match up to professional photographers' equipment that they guard very jealously and value enormously. Gracia White, tell us about the development of the Galaxy S6 and what this means now for the everyday user of a smartphone.
Well, essentially we wanted to bring something new to the table. I mean, smartphones are launched literally every day. 5 minutes almost. And so obviously with having so many to choose from, you want to have something that's unique, that's different, that will make you, the user, stand out. So research and development in South Korea, they're a very dedicated force. I say that always, literally, minute after minute, try to outdo themselves year on year in terms of what they can bring to the wider audience. So we know that our audience, our users, want better camera quality, larger pixels, which in other words just means that your output, your pictures become better, clearer. You can actually use them in low light. You can now, with the selfie obsession, I don't know if you're up to speed
I'm not yet, but everybody else in the family is, and we're looking at some of the images right now, the quality of the images on the screen. Wow.
And then because people use their phones to take pictures pretty much every day, it's for everyday usage.
To a nauseating level.
Well, and then if we are saying to people, well, our camera's a big deal, why not bring on a professional photographer who can then actually say, well, actually, you know, they're on the right track, and he can use it, as you can see, to take pictures of places in Trinidad which are, you know, outstanding, known to people, and then through his blog kind of say, well, through using some features you can do this. So it kind of brings a more real to life.
All right, so Mark, tell us about this, because the images, by the way, are available. You can go to, is it www.2015-365.lindsaydigital.com to see
yes, that will take people to the website.
Tell us about how this partnership came into being, because we were having this discussion off air, in the same way that old-fashioned journalists look with scorn upon all these bloggers and whatever. I'm just wondering, what did it take for a traditional photographer to go the way of endorsing these smartphones thing as quality photography?
Well, in a nutshell, that would be curiosity. I wanted to put the smartphones to test in a serious kind of rigorous sort of way. So I decided that what I would do is post a picture every day for a year. I try to limit myself to about 5 photographs a day. There's no rollover, so every day I need to go out and look for a photograph. And I decided to use the camera I have with me all the time, which is the camera on the phone. I was aware that the phones were capable of doing decent work. I was quite surprised. I started with an S4. I've been a Samsung user for about 10 years now. And somewhere around the S3, I became aware that the quality that was coming out of there was really kind of solid photographic quality. And when Samsung approached me to raise the game to the S6, I found a whole other level of engagement in terms of what a photographer can do with the phone. The phone has something called a Pro mode, which allows you to override the settings and add different levels of creative potential to the images. But what I found is that the images are really robust.
I mean, you can see that. I mean, the vivid color, the clarity, you're seeing everything in these images.
So you'd asked earlier whether or not I see these phones replacing traditional photographic devices. I see them very much working in partnership with. There are going to be people who are going to be using smartphones exclusively, and they're going to be served very well by them. But people who take photographs for a living are people who take photographs for a living.
Yeah.
And they work with different kinds of equipment to get different kinds of quality and different kinds of images going. But what I'm seeing with the S6 in particular is a quality of image that stands on par with what you'd get from all but the most professional of point-and-shoot cameras, which means that I don't need another device to take those pictures. I already have that device.
And Gracia, this must be a tremendous endorsement, because here you've got someone who's well established as a professional photographer, basically saying that a smartphone can, to some extent, match up to the very best that a professional can do.
And that is the kind of quality endorsement you want, Fazeer, because as I said, we can always spout lyrical about how fantastic
and people just say this is just PR.
And they'll just be, exactly. But then if someone like Mark now says, well, actually, and I use these tools every day, I get something similar, if not on par, to what I can do. And I think Mark could let me know his opinion on that. I think if more people start to use their smartphones to take pictures, I think interest in photography may actually increase, and then you'll find people probably wanting to look at those options.
How do you see that? Because that might be a double-edged sword, that it could either run the traditional professional photography business out of business, or is it going to be the reverse, as Gracia White is suggesting, that can actually draw people more towards the art of professional photography?
Okay, well, from my point of view, I think the very best thing that can happen to photography is that more people take photographs.
You want more than people taking now?
Yes, more people take photographs, because what happens is that when a critical mass of people become involved in something, the overall standard of that game raises. I mean, everybody can play football, but not everybody is Ronaldo.
Yes.
So the people who play football and appreciate football appreciate a great footballer. And they can see that that game has been raised to a particular level. In the same way that the more people take pictures, the more they become involved in the process, and the more they can say, okay, I'm getting this, doing this way, but wow, how is he doing that? And it raises the overall appreciation for the craft and the art form as it goes along.
And how long is this project going to be running for? For how long are these images going to be available on this website?
Okay, it's kind of built into the name. It's 365. We're on day 226 today.
Okay.
At the end of the year, the website stops because it's designed that way. But I have no reason to take it down. And what I'd say is that anybody who's curious about what you can do with a Samsung smartphone or a smartphone generally is to take a look at the website. There are currently 225 examples of what a person can do just with a camera in their pocket.
And Gracia White, I mean, where does Samsung go next? Because you say, I mean, it is the cutting-edge technology smartphone, because everybody is clambering over one another to get one up on the other. The competition is fierce. As you said, the Samsung based in South Korea, I'm sure right now they're probably 5 years ahead of the game as to what they're going to come up with. But what do you do next?
I would say, going into Mark's point, in that once we know, and that's why the conversation continues as to what do our users want, what do consumers want more out of cameras. So then do we go even larger screens? Do we just say, let's add some more pixels? Do we improve things like white balance, lighting, just things like that? So I would say it's just really continuing to listen and trying as best as possible to answer those questions.
And because you're so keyed into the technology and all of the digital age and so on, long before many of us have even attempted to go near it, Mark Lindsay, are you excited about what is to come? Are you, or as some might say, intimidated by some of the new challenges that may be presented to you?
I think you'd have to be really brave not to be intimidated by the stuff that's coming along, but I'm also terribly excited by what's happening. All of my conversations with Samsung around this project have been build more features in, do more, because I think that's a critical space that they could really inhabit in terms of delivering a phone that addresses at least one market need, and pretty much everybody has that need. Better pictures from their phones, and if they're able to deliver that, I think they're definitely going to be on the right track.
Selfies galore, I suppose, for a while. But again, there are a few days still to go in the year and a few days to enjoy what is being offered by Mark Lindsay on the website www.2015-365.lindesaydigital.com, and you can use the hashtag S6 Summer Shot, even though again geographically we don't have summer.
Global company.
I understand all of that, but very, very quickly, Gracia White, and the S6 is available in the stores.
Oh, it's available at obviously our Experience stores in Gulf City, Trin City, West Mall, and just a myriad of just retail stores across the country. Both carriers, open market channels, anywhere you can get an S6.
And again, please don't beat down on the door because they didn't bring any free S6 for us. So you could go back in the office and sit down and relax, and hopefully sometime that might happen, but not today. It's coming up towards 7:17 in Trinidad and Tobago as we continue on Morning Edition